Good morning, everybody. This is Navin Francis from SNi, and I'm here today with popular radio DJ that we all know from our school days. I believe most of us, JJ.
Had to make me feel old. Just had to. School days. Yes, I'm an uncle, okay? I understand. What is your question? Faster, young man. You started it, okay?
JJ, thanks again for your time
No problem, buddy.
have this interview. So our topic is mostly about, talking about translation and copywriting, which is what my company is offering. And so to the first question, could you share your experience with trying to craft effective copywriting and translations for your business in the past? You can also relate to maybe from your radio days, perhaps, or
not only my radio days. I can relate to my creative director's days as well. So, if for those of you who don't know, of course you know me from radio, but I also was a creative director in an agency. I also now am a director in these companies doing seminars and stuff like that. But yes, creating copywriting is not easy. Because when you speak to clients always like, hey, just create something that speaks to everybody. You can't. In real life, think about it. Your message speaks to a certain group of people. So when you have to craft it, with the people who know how to do it, they'll ask you specific questions that will target the group that you want to hit. And when you target the group you want to hit, of course, there's peripheral to it. So like for hits, for radio, the target group was 12 to 19, 18, around there, or 21. So that's the target group. But we hit the peripheral also. So people that are younger and older by 5 years. That's what we hit. But we were so different that we hit every age. I don't know why. But yeah, that's what we did.
So moving on, what made you decide to invest in external services like ours instead of continuing with your own DIY efforts? Yeah.
Well, when look, as a business owner, sometimes you find it hard to. There's a lot you can do. I can do everything actually, but I don't have enough time. So what you need is people to provide the services so that you have more time to focus on things that you need to focus on that others can't do. So as a business owner, you focus on the things that you can do that others can't do, and allow others to focus on the things that you don't need to focus on. So that's why.
Maybe you can share a bit further, like how has outsourcing, copywriting, and translation allowed you to focus more on growing your business and less on language-related tasks, perhaps? Yeah.
So when you outsource, one important thing is your focus now. The task that you need to do, you go, okay, outsource. They do it. Then you focus on business development. What else can you do to grow your business? So your focus is no longer on, I need to get the message out. The message is already being done. So if you plan your marketing in a way where everything is happening at the same time, it's much easier, so you can focus on other things rather than just the copywriting part. You think of, where else I'm going to touch. If I'm doing ground events, where I'm going to be visually in the store, what you're supposed to do, promotions, discounts and stuff you want to create. All that works with copywriting as well. So if you've got someone doing the service, you just go, okay, this is the target market I want to hit, this is the messaging I want, create this for me, thank you very much. And then you do all the other things and then put them together and then ta-da. You have to think about this. Do you know the airplane Boeing? It's a big plane, all right? Do you think Boeing builds everything? No. A friend of mine is actually a Malaysian-based company who builds one part for the engine in Boeing. One part. Boeing can build it, but they outsource these things to build the whole engine so they can focus on other things. Same thing for your business. You got to figure out what's important to you, how these things that can help you grow with your company. So I know money is coming out, but as long as whatever money is being spent, what you get in return 10x's your business, why not, man? That's the plan.
Just out of curiosity, JJ, for some of us, when we listened to you on the radio those days, I'm pretty sure there's been brands like who are Malay or Chinese related and they require translation from your site before you go live, right? So maybe you can share a certain scenario perhaps that...
Well, okay, a lot of people, I don't have a brand per se to say exactly, but simple this, all right? I know some people like, wow, AI can do it now. There's a lot of technology online can do it. Yeah, you can put it in. Try this. Put whatever you want to say in the language you want. Translate it to the language that you want to translate it to. You're done, right? Once you take that, export that, then put it back into the system and translate it back to English. See, you get the same message, right? If the message is different, that means there's nuances and context to the message is lost. So the people who speak the language know how to add in the nuances and the context to get the message across. So that's very important when it comes to translation. Yes, you can just get the message across, but if it's not the right, and then is the person watching it in that language go, what? You know what I mean? So you got to get the context and nuances important to copywriting.
Well, have you ever found that the in-house or DIY copywriting and translation ended up being more costly, perhaps, for your business than anticipated?
Okay, when you talk about costly, what will cost more is time. Time is very... Okay, I'll ask you lah. Okay, I ask you directly, how much is 1 hour of your time worth? Tell me directly. If you say, my time is worth 2,000 an hour, even 200 an hour. If you think your time is 200 an hour, so whatever you're investing, you're paying back to yourself. So if the cost of what you're supposed to do is going to cost you a week, how much is that worth to you? And then you translate that to the cost of what is being charged for the service. Now, if you think that's worth it, then do it. If not, then spend that time and waste that money. So that's all I'm going to say.
What considerations do you take perhaps into account when deciding between DIY efforts and outsourcing professional services? Yep.
DIY efforts, outsourcing, I think it goes back to quality and time. Those are the two important things. Quality, look, you can get someone on Fiverr to do the work, all right? But can you guarantee the quality? No.
Yep.
Now, if you hire someone for a service, then you can guarantee quality because you're paying for quality. You're not paying for just slipshod. So remember, everything works in triangle: time, quality, and quantity. So what you want? You want quality and the good time, then pay that much. If you want quality and quantity, then pay that much. If you want time and quantity, then pay that much. It works that way. You can't expect to get everything in one.
What advice would you give to fellow business owners who are considering the DIY route for copywriting and translation, perhaps? Yeah.
Budget is a huge thing. Put into effect your budget. If it doesn't fit your budget now, to understand, it is important. Budget it to your future budget. So maybe it cannot fit this time around, this year. Maybe it can fit in 6 months' time. So make sure you allocate it into your budget in 6 months. In other words, you can save the 6 months so that in 6 months' time you can afford it. So it's very important for you to budget within your business. Don't just expect to just do things. A lot of people want to just start in business and expect everything to be great. Yeah, you can hire in-house if you want. Go ahead. And that will cost you so much more rather than someone who is just going to be, focused on that. Especially if you can get an agency on retainer, it's much easier. There's a more symbiotic relationship going on. Why? Because one thing they leverage off you doing your name, and they'll say, I've done this work. So they can leverage off that, and you can leverage off their experience. So it's a symbiotic relationship. Everybody wants to win within it because one success will help the other one succeed as well. So it works both ways. So it's very important to figure that out. All right, budget well, figure out how the companies that you gel well with, and then just move forward. And that's the plan. And if you don't believe me, too bad lah, you don't believe me lah.
Well, that's it from us, JJ. Thank you so much for your time once again.
Not a problem, buddy.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. A bit more on translation and copywriting from us. Again, thanks for the sharing from JJ. I still can't believe I'm working closely with someone I know from childhood days. Before we sign off, JJ, anything you'd like to share with the audience, perhaps?
If you want to get in touch with me, my website is jjonair.com. Everything I give out for free is there.